Charles, I understand what you're saying, but it's not my fault. I didn't take the farm off you.
I'm destitute, old boy. My whole livelihood taken away. And I blame you.
You can't blame me. There was so much debt, you couldn't deal with it anymore. I had to step in. I own that debt now. It's not like I got a free farm.
Nonsense. Look at all the stuff you've got here. Much more than I ever had.
Charles, we just can't keep talking. Listen, if you want to speak to me again, you're going to have to speak to me through my lawyers. This can't go on. Bye for now. Bye.
Oh boy. I feel sorry for him, right? He's lost his farm, but, you know, it was not a going concern. He'd run it into the ground. He'd run up so much debt. You know, he was living out with his means, so, you know, it just so happened that I've been able to take on the farm and the debt. Let's not forget, I have £1 million over my head now because of Charles's bad judgment in the past, and, yeah, here we are. Here we are. Now, anyway, let's try and focus on positives for now. We have got grass in this field, which we can turn into silage. The linseed over there is ready. I think we'll jump in and maybe look after ourselves for a little bit. Before that, though, if you remember, we've got the canola field down at the bottom. We're going to get the straw off that and maybe sell that. We could actually keep some now as well. Although the canola stuff, there's probably not going to be that much of it, so we'll get rid of it. But maybe off our linseed as well. I'm not sure if that distributes straw, so we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's head down. In fact, I was here to get the baler, wasn't I? I was about to jump in the Range Rover and head down. But this is what we came back for. So we'll run this down to the field and we'll get things started. Well, here we are, and it would appear that our farmer has decided to keep the straw for himself. Oh well. That's fine. It's his straw at the end of the day. It does mean, though, now I have got equipment lying all over the place. So what I'm going to do is run this over to the sheds over there, the contracting sheds, because let's have a chat about that, actually. That's what we need to talk about next, is what we're going to do. Do we consolidate our operation into one location, or do we keep this? Keep using the land. Now, we've had some really interesting feedback from you lot. You've come up with a load of suggestions. Fundamentally, though, I think over the piece, you're all suggesting that I should probably get rid of this. We could sell the sheds. Some people have suggested keeping the sheds for some of the equipment that you don't lose all the time, so maybe the 2 combines, but maybe this shed here, the second shed, we could relocate this second shed up to home farm for a bit more storage. But the main shed here, yeah, the equipment that we don't use very often, like the combines out of season, they'll just sit there. We could pop them into this big shed, and maybe some of the vintage stuff as well. So maybe when the county's redone, we could do that. And obviously James has got his Massey, so we could offer him that as a storage place as well. It's a good shed, that. And then we could probably plough up some of this land again, turn it back into field. Whether or not we keep this field, or we could sell this field and see if we get a bit of money for that and buy a field closer to home. Lots and lots of choices. But there we go, that's done. And I think I quite fancy using the good old Class combine rather than the New Holland. Again, a few people have talked about maybe swapping the combines as well for maybe a slightly bigger new one, or a slightly faster new one, I don't know which. Let's just check the horses while we're here as well. A few of you asked about Davey as well. Davey's doing a great job. He's still working away in the background. We've not seen him for a few episodes, but he's doing well. Look at these horses, fully kept, fed, and they are looking fantastic. Good investment. This is actually, my daughter's taken a real interest in horses recently, so she's harassing me to let her take them out and exercise them and things like that as well. So these are a good investment. What we'll do long term with them, I don't know, but for now, it's just nice to have a couple of horses on the farm. Right, let's go and get the combine, bring it back here, and then we'll head off and get the Class combine as well. Alright, there we go. We'll leave that there. That does need a wash, so we'll come back and clean that another time when we've got a bit of spare time. There we go. header attached. Let's just run across the field here. That grass doesn't look very long actually, but I think it is fully ready to be harvested. Our corn looking resplendent there as well. Definitely will be selling that. I'm not going to turn that into silage corn at all. Right, let's get in here. Let's fire things up. Let's lower the header down. And let's get some linseed off. Our first crop. This is our first ever crop of our own. Feels like we've been harvesting for forever. This is actually our first ever crop. And look at that swath as well. That's a nice big swath. We're going to get some nice bales off this. Fantastic. Right. Let's push on for a bit. Right, hooking up the Valtra here. And just while we're here, just before we head down to the field, I'm going to check when is the best time to sell linseed. And just make sure we get the best price for it. So there it is down at the bottom there. Price-wise, it looks pretty low at the moment. Let's click on any one of these actually, just so we can get an idea. Yeah, December 403 per 1,000 litres. So we've got a bit to go yet. It's in the 200s. That's fine. That is why we have a silo on the farm. So we'll head down, see how far the combine's got around the field. Just going across the bottom there. It's a big old field, this. I didn't realise how big it was. We inherited this crop, so it was already planted by the time we got here. So it's almost like free money. Right. We'll tail the combine for just a little bit. Get the first load off. Obviously the headlands, it fills up pretty quick. Once it's on the up and down rows, it might calm down a little bit. But there'll be a lot of straw on this field as well. I think we might switch to the big square baler for the straw. It is that much bigger. There we go. That looks like the combine full already, and he's only made it probably 2/3 of the way around the field. So he'll have left enough space in the tank to be able to just cut in so we can get alongside him. I might need to roll back a little bit further here. Yeah, there we go. Just going to cut in, give himself a little bit of space for me to run alongside. We'll unload, and then he can get on his merry way again. Right, first load in, 35% of a trailer full. So we'll just get just less than 3 loads into this trailer before we have to go and unload, but that's fine. Right, let's enjoy some combining. Right, check us out. We are 93% full in our second trailer. We've tipped one already. We're making really good progress. Willie's on the up and downs now. Probably not that far to go, I would say. But looking good. Looking good. We are loving this crop and loving this field. I forgot that we had such a big field of our own. So it's nice to be working our own fields, knowing that the crop that comes off it belongs to us and is going to make us a bit of money in the future. And this straw, well, that's another story altogether. I'm considering going and getting the baler. I might just park the trailer at some point and let Willie just go and unload as and when he's full. Time it for the end of the rows, and we'll start on the baling, because I'm excited to see how much straw we'll get off this. Those swaths look very, very big. Anyway, let's go and tip this up at the yard, and then we'll head back anyway. And in the meantime, we'll have a little chat about what we do with our sheds again. We should probably have we'll have time for a little nosy around the yard up there. See if there's any appropriate spaces. What I don't want to do is encroach on the field. So, for example, I wouldn't want to put another shed in this grass field here, because we don't want to eat into the space we've got. But there could be a couple of areas where we could take advantage. Potentially, we shall see. But let's get this tipped first, and then we'll take things from there. Right, while that's tipping, we could just have a little bit of a wander here. Now, I should be better organised. This could be where our bales go. We could shift the bales out of here. This is a great storage shed for equipment. We could line stuff up along that wall there and along the back. That's a really good shed that we're not really utilising the best. Now, we could clear some of this as well. Get rid of all of this mess, flatten that out. There's space for a small shed in there as well. And then we maybe have got enough space around here. I'm not sure if... I mean, access to my field here, we don't tend to come across here anyway, so we could probably level this out somewhere. And there's space for another shed here, so that could work. That could work for our contractor shed. So that's interesting. But we don't... I'm not sure we necessarily need it completely. Well, I'll have another think about it, and again, if you've got any comments, we could put a shed here, but other than that, we've also got this one. How could I forget this? Now, the challenge with this one is the wall is very close. It's hard to get big machinery in here, but again, maybe this could be for bales, although that feels like a machinery shed. We should be able to get some decent machinery in here. Even some of the smaller pieces would go nicely in there. So we are not short of shed space, which says to me, well, I mean, we could just sell those two sheds. We could just sell those two sheds and see what we do. We might have to get a new sign made for the entrance to let people know that FS3 contracting is still in business. But in the meantime, we better go back and check that the combine's not full again. Right, our faffing around in the yard means that, look, we are just a little bit late. We could have picked him up on the other pass. Now, I should have done lands in this field. It's a big enough field that I could have done lands in it. But we are where we are now, so let's just get it unloaded. There we go. I'll get him to cut back into the field in a minute, and then we'll tail him for a bit, and hopefully it won't be too much longer. This feels like the biggest field on the map at the moment. I know there's a couple of bigger ones, but this is great. I'd love to see how much money we're going to make off this. Of course, we have time-saving stock check, so we can actually check that, and when it will be at its optimal price as well. So that's good. Right. We will see you in a little bit. Right, I've decided to make myself useful. I've parked the trailer close enough there to Willie that he can unload himself, and maybe move the trailer a little bit closer as it gets a bit further up the field. I'm going to go and grab the Massey from the other yard. I'm going to grab the front loader and the tool, and I'm going to also get the square baler. So we'll go and get all of that, and we can start on the baling then, couldn't we? Right, here we are in the Massey. We need to go and get the bale grab first, because it's in the field, and the trailer actually, and then we'll come back here and we'll need to swap the grab for the square bale one. So the front loader has got the round one on at the moment from the last few episodes, but I think we're going to go for square bales in the linseed field, just because there seems to be quite a lot of straw there. There we go, exactly where we left them. Now, it was a stroke of genius actually putting a front loader attachment on this tractor. I didn't think about it at the time, but it does make it very handy. Obviously the fast track can do it as well, but the fact you've got two tractors with that ability just gives you a lot of options, doesn't it? Right, that was quick. Let's go and swap this pickup, and then we'll see you at the other yard. Right, here we go. Let's just drop this, let's say something like that, that'll do. And we will pick up the square bale one. Now, I was considering grabbing both the square bale ones. I think we're going to be alright though. The other thing I'm going to do is leave this trailer here just now. I'm going to have to come back for this at some point. But for now, obviously the baler is more important, so we'll take that up to the other farm first. Right, here we are. What we're going to do, we'll probably drop the front loader off just in the corner of the field out of the way. We don't need that yet, and it will just visually help us get around the field a bit easier. I think we can see the combine unloading there. So we'll drop this off, and then we'll just jump straight into the baling, I think. In fact, we'll put it in the grass field here. That's what we'll do. Right, I just spotted that Willie had filled the trailer, so we'll do a little bit of a tag team. We'll unload this, put it back into position before we jump in the baler. But we're getting through this very quickly, which is great. So we'll just tip this, drop it back, and then we'll dive into the bales. There we go, another load in. I just thought I'd jump in here and have a look at time saving stock check. So at the moment 56,000 litres is all. So maxing out 25,000. Well, let's say we'll get another trailer load, maybe two trailer loads. We could have 100,000 worth of stuff, which could give us 50,000-ish in the way of cash. It's not huge, but it's not to be sniffed at either. Let's see what we can get for these bales as well. Need to check that price is still good. If the price is still good, we're going to sell them straight away. If it's still at max price, kind of hoping it is. We get a lot of bales off this field. Right, let's park this somewhere about here. That should work for Willie. Let's go baling. Right, here we go. We'll just drop in here. Now we've already got 87% of a bale in from the last time we were working, so that's kind of cool. Get a quick bale out of this. Now what I don't want to do necessarily is stick too many bales up here while Willie's still got to turn the combine. So what I might do tactically is head down to the bottom and work my way up, maybe do the up and down rows first, and then maybe grab some of the headlands later on. The joy of doing it yourself rather than putting it on a course plate or a worker. There you go, typically we're baling away just as Willie needs to unload. We were just kind of working away around here. He's leaving some chunks of the field here. I think he might have been on the good Scotch or something, because there's a fair bit of crop left on the field. We'll go around and tidy that up at the end. But he's unloading there, which is great. We're making bales, which is great. The sun is shining, which is great. Everything's looking good. Right. There goes Willie back to the oh. Excuse me. Oh, Charles, what do you want, man? Hello, Charles.
Ah, hello, FSG.
How can I help you now?
I noticed when I was over there the other day that the county has been pulled out of the bushes and you've got it in your workshop.
That's right. Also, what do you mean when you were round the other day?
Oh, I just popped in to see what was going on.
Okay, Charles, you can't do that. It's not your farm anymore. If you want to come down, you need to contact me.
Oh, yes, sorry, FSG, I apologise. Anyway, the county. When can I get that back? Because technically that is mine, and even you didn't know it was in the bushes when you bought the farm.
Yeah, but it was on the land, Charles. How many times are we going to have this conversation? And again, please stop contacting me. You need to speak to me through my lawyer.
I'm sorry, FSG. Yes, I will do that. Right. Sorry. Okay, goodbye.
Oh, man. That is one confused guy. I don't know what else to say, really. He's starting to become a bit of a liability. I also don't trust him. And I don't think a lot of you lot do either. So, let's see what his next move is. Right, we have put James in the baler for a bit, whilst we go and get this load of grain out of the trailer and into the silo. Look, there's Willie coming to unload again. So we've actually timed this pretty well. Then, I think we'll go and grab the other bits. We'll go and grab the bale trailer, the other grab from the other yard. We'll maybe use the JCB for that, which is at the top of the field, and we'll just get everything organised. Yeah, Willie's literally got a pass and a bit left here, plus some of the loose ends to tidy up, so that's great. But there we go. Field done. Oh, there's a contractor as well. That's interesting. Okay, well, that's actually really good timing, because Willie can jump straight onto that when he's finished this field. Couldn't have asked for better timing, actually. That's great. We'll have a look at that in a minute while we're tipping. Right, there it is, field 122, oats. That's great. Going to Valley View, which we know, and look, I haven't collected field 40 yet. We'll collect that. A little bit of extra cash too. Now, as well as contracts go, lots and lots of baling, of course, still. Just the nature of the map is loads of grass, lots of forage stuff going on there as well. 22,000 for field 90. That seems too good to turn down. 22,000 on field 14 as well. Right, what was that? Field 90 and 14. Let's go and look at those fields in the map in a little bit. And only one harvesting contract left. That is interesting. So we're getting through the cereal crops pretty quick. Right. 14 and 90. Let's have a look at those two fields, shall we? Could be worth grabbing those. And my bet is they're going to be bigger fields. Look, there we go. 90 is there. That's not so bad. It's certainly not as big as the field we're working in at the moment. And the other one was 14. Ah, yes, the big one down there. That's a nice field, actually. We'd be stupid not to grab both of those, right? 22, that's 44,000, nearly 45,000. I'm going to grab both of those while they are sitting there. Field 90, that is rye, and down here, there it is, field 14, sorghum. Accept, right, 2 big contracts ready to go. Exciting stuff. Right, let's go and get the rest of what's on the field here. Like I said, James running nicely with the baler now, so we can let him push on with that, and we'll tidy everything else up. It's like the light is getting low now. Look at the shadows we're casting here. These bits Willie's missed as well. We're going to have to grab those. There we go. Unload this. And there are some patches here, aren't there? Right, we'll go and grab those and get the last of it into the trailer. Send Willie off to combine the other field. We'll just get organised here. The bale count off this field is going to be insane. Speaking of bale price, let's just jump into time-saving stock check. Yep, that price is still there. That price is still there. So, we've got some money to make still. And remember, we haven't baled all these yet. So, imagine what it's going to be like at the end. Right, for all of you who would have said to me, oh, you should have picked up those little straggly bits all around the field, 287 litres. It's not worth it. It really is not. For the amount of fuel and all of that stuff, you might as well just plough it under. But there we go, we've got it now. And we'll move the combine out of the field here. And we'll just, as we go out of the field, have a quick look back, because, I mean, look at the volume of bales in there already. And we're not even halfway through the field. It's going to be huge. Very exciting. Now I'm going to pop the header on the trailer here. And then I actually am going to unhook the JCB, because that's what we're going to run down to the other yard to get the trailer. Right, we are back, as you can see. We've got the trailer, and we've also bought the rear attacher. Because actually I think there might be merit in us picking up some of these bales and bringing them all to the top of the field here, and then loading them on a trailer after that, just to make things a bit easier. So, we'll decide what we do there, but for now, we're looking good. Right. Back in this trailer, let's get this tip, this last 26% of the field. Then we'll know how much we've got in the silo as well. There we go. Shouldn't take long to tip. Now I did notice as well, the cows are starting to run low on food. We probably should give them a little top up before the end of the day as well. It actually helps. We could use it to move some of the bales around a bit and reorg the yard slightly. To start bringing the other equipment up here. So let's drop this back in the shed now, because that is no longer needed. Now we've got everything in. There we go. I'll just park it at a slight angle there, so it's easier to get out. And yeah, like I said, we feed the animals, we can move those 3 silage bales over here. In fact, we'll use 2 of them if we feed the animals. Move the other one over here. And we can start to get some of this straw and hay over there as well. We've also got all of our silage still sitting here. We could use a couple of buckets of that, if I'm being honest, and keep the bales. And we've got all the bales, the silage bales on the trailer over here as well. Just waiting for the time to be right. Speaking of the time to be right, let's have a look at time-saving stock check. So in the end, linseed, 79,770 litres. It's not a huge payday, 35,780, but hey, not to be sniffed at. And that's January, so we're we're 6 months away from selling that at this max price there. The straw is getting baled still, and that number continues to go up, which is great. Silage, we're rock bottom again. That's January as well, so we're obviously in the middle of winter when people are low on feed. They'll be looking to buy silage, so we're going to wait and hold on to that for as long as possible. Other than that, we've got nearly 20,000 litres of milk to sell, but we're going to hold on to that for a little bit longer as well. So yeah, we're just waiting for the right times, to be honest. Okay, it is now creeping up towards 5 PM. We're going to start losing the light soon. So, we'll keep an eye on James, check how he's doing with the bales, and then we'll start to load them up. We've got lots to do, but for now, thank you very much for watching as always. Hope you're still enjoying the series. I know I am. And I will see you again very soon. Take care. Bye for now.